If we were to just net all of them... It could be so good. How many are there again? 7? Damn. Maybe just like, instead of having knives, because we really haven't really gotten a good chance to, I don't think even once have we had a good chance to knife these things. Maybe just like give all of our nets to the frontline dudes. And then if I really want armor, I'll slap them around with the flail, I guess. You know. Assuming we get a really good, surround or whatever. Okay, this should work. Alrighty. Shit, I don't know about this. They all have shields. This is like fighting a team of footmen, actually. They're gonna do the whole shield wall thing. It's kind of odd that I was hoping for two-handers, I guess, but this means I can't rush the kill on really any of them unless I get lucky. The nets will help to some degree. This guy doesn't have a shield. We'll kill him super fast, I guess. Maybe. None of them have weapons that are gonna kill me really quickly is the thing. The spears will, but otherwise... I think this will be okay. As long as we abuse every single net that we have, this will be okay. $35, $35. 9%, no. Alright, so this is the stun guy, this is the spear guy with absurd accuracy. Go for the guy with the accuracy and miss both shots. Okay, I'd like to shoot the guy without the shield, but let's wait and get a net on him, yeah? They have 4 boar spears actually. Maybe I shouldn't have fought all this. It's a problem. How am I feeling? Better. How you doing, Wesley? Okay, our hedge knight boy over here is probably going to want to just get his axe out. Yeah, this is actually, we're gonna have to net this guy here because it's a problem otherwise. He'll come up and hit the archer. We can get a really good, oh man, I'm gonna wait though because we're gonna get a net in him and it'll be super likely to hit at least some of this stuff. Doing a lot of reading. You like how nets are visualized in this game? Yeah, I like it too. Okay, so if I shoot here with the blunderbuss, or I guess I should call it what it is, which is a handgun. This just feels weird calling it that because it's obviously not held in one hand. If I do it like this, hit these guys, is there any way I could do it and hit all of them? If I move here, and I shot to my right, it would be 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, so that's not all of them. If I moved right there, which I certainly don't want to. 1, 2, 3, that's not right. I think this might be the best I'm going to be able to get. Unless I took a step forward. Well, no, even that wouldn't be good enough. This is still 3 targets getting hit. That's not half bad. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any better way. What if I moved here and shot, like, up there? So it would be right there. Shoot there. I'd hit these 4, and then I'd hit that, and then I'd hit that. So yeah, I'd hit everything if I did that. Okay. I don't want to wait, though, because that would mean that... Oh, shit. I didn't move NGMat. Okay, this is dangerous, actually. We're going to move love down. This guy's going to end up moving next to me. I'm still going to wait. Yeah, this is still the traders. So the idea is we move down here and we... Actually, both of our original traders, Quezel and Love, are still alive, which is pretty cool. If I move down here, we can... The plan was to go down here and net this guy. We still have to deal with this asshole with the axe coming up and ruining a reindeer here. It's okay, though. I almost want to put him here, but it's too dangerous. I'm gonna go there. We're gonna net this guy because if I don't leave him unnetted, he can actually move forward and then attack, whereas this dude's just gonna waste a turn getting into position. So we'll do that. Okay. Albrazuka now has a 37% chance to hit the guy without a shield. And he hits both. Pretty good. Now for the moment of truth and judgment. Four shots. It's going to hit 4 guys. I've seen this just miss everybody, but 3 of them are netted, so I'm going to be extraordinarily butthurt if it doesn't hit anybody. Okay, consider me butthurt. That's what you might call some old bullshit. That's a bullshit. Alright, whatever. Did not know he had a throwing weapon. Pew pew pew, too bad we miss everybody. We're gonna wait with this guy. He'll re-net whoever breaks out. And again... This is sort of annoying that this guy has throwing axes. It means I probably want to run away with Bobby Snobby. Yeah, so here's the kind of obnoxious thing to do with guns. So, like, I don't get to see the hit percentage unless I am directly aiming on the thing that I'm attacking. So there's no way, as best as I can tell, to check what the hit percentages are. But I'm willing to guess just by, you know, comparing it to the bows and whatnot, that it was probably 35% chance or so. Pop, how can you miss at such close range? You can play Battle Brothers and get memed on. 35, 35, 25, 8. I'm trying to decide if I want to move Bobby away or not, since he's getting axed by this asshole. One more shot could kill him. Yeah, we're gonna walk away. For some reason, you're still able to throw axes even if you're in a net. Now, with Love here, if I wanted to be a real joker, I could run up and shoot, but I don't have a shield on right now, so I believe that would be a mistake. Be a mistake either way, perhaps, but definitely a mistake under those circumstances. Okay, so do we whip out our net and net this guy? Or do we whip out our billhook and go to work? He is adjacent. So it's kind of a problem. I think we wait. Well, actually, hold up. Who has the higher melee skill? Is it a reindeer or is it Albrazuko? Albrazuko has 55, and my boy here has 52. So here's the logic. We are going to get the net out on a reindeer, which, by the way, was free for AP because of my quick hands. We're going to net, and Albrazuko is going to pull out his pole hammer and start beating ass hopefully hitting the netted guy. We'll equip our billhook for next turn. It's like I could shoot or whatever, but the chances are just terrible. Take out the pole hammer instead. Take a step. Looking at a 42% chance now. His turn is actually done. So I think we're actually going to wait, maybe. Well, hold up. These guys are moving still. Oh, this is looking really ugly. We haven't killed anybody or even done any damage. So the thing is, if I can move Quezzle down, or, well, I'm not going to want to move NG Matt, but if I did that and got somebody down there, we'd have a higher chance to hit this thing. And that's basically what we want, because otherwise Arendir is going to be getting slapped around by this guy. We could try to stun him, but I trust that even less, because 75% chance. Let's see, this guy doesn't have a helmet. We definitely are going to want Quezzle attacking that guy. Okay, so he just hit his shield. Fucking owned. Okay, so unless I stepped forward and round swung, which would be terrible, I should probably just wait. Yeah. Fuck off! You know, I have to wonder if I could just run away right now. No, I can't. There's this raider here. Alright, well, if this guy's going to have a ranged weapon, we have to go ahead and go up here. Problem is that I don't have my shield out, so this is quite risky if I don't put it on. 39% chance to hit him because of his damn shield. We don't have flail mastery, so this hail, which is guaranteed to hit the head if it hits, does not bypass the shield. So I wonder if we just throw our own shield on, so that Quezzle doesn't just get pizzoned here. I can use the flail to bypass shields, but hitting body armor at that point. This guy doesn't have a shield, so I could lash him, but he's actually got a helmet. Damn it. Should have thought this through. I forgot about this problem. It was because I was planning on giving this dude Flail Master, I just never got around to it, or rather I haven't leveled him up enough yet. I'm gonna get his shield on. Okay. Like, I'm slowing this fight down by netting everybody, but we're not really making any progress on it. 61. Oh, come on, man. I just need, like, a little bit of good luck. Or just not bad luck. They hit all their attacks. I hit none of mine. Okay. Let's say we move up without Brazuko. 42%, 15, 55, 55. Okay, that's something. Arendir's in some serious doo-doo here, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it right now. We're just gonna have to roll 29s and fail. Waldemir has no choice to pull this thing out again. I could roll forward and mess with this dude's morale, but that's nothing doing. I don't think it's gonna really do anything for me, so I could wait and see if there's anything I could do here. But we switched weapons. There's no you know, we don't have the AP. So let's just pass turn. Okay, this is interesting. Can anybody tell what weapon this guy has? I think it's an axe. I have to take risks, I think, for this to go well. So as dangerous as it is, we're gonna roll in. We mess with his morale, that's cool. And we're gonna do the fire lance. Hit one of them. Honestly, forget these assholes. We're just gonna get surrounded. And we're gonna hope that they don't get out of their nets easily. $66. $66. I'm not even gonna do Lash, or Hail, I guess it's called, with the triple hit. I'm just gonna do the regular one because his armor's already gone. Oh, fuck off! I did the regular attack that isn't guaranteed to hit the head. It hit the head anyway, and he has armor there, so he didn't die. Wonderful. I'd like to be able to, like, you know, not aim for the head when I see that his armor is gone, but I guess that's... I suppose it makes sense. Still frustrating. 49%, 63. We could actually be shield splitting here with this great axe. That's a solid 36 damage to shields. Not enough to break the kite shield immediately, but it is enough to break the wooden shields immediately. Anyway, we're gonna go for a kill there first. I don't care if it's almost dead. It's important to get the kill. Fuck. Well, that's the opposite of what we wanted to happen. Waldemar's in trouble. We don't care too much about his life, though. Have you noticed that it's always a mistake to take fights? You know, I was like, oh, we can do this. No. No, don't take the optional fights. Not getting anything valuable out of this anyway. You know, like the armor's okay, but we're probably not going to get any of it. We haven't lost any guys yet, but I assure you that's about to change. Yeah, Bobby's gonna die. Straight up nothing I can do about that at this point. This guy's shield walling, 32% chance to hit. Can knock him out of that shield wall, I suppose. Just gonna sacrifice these two guys, they're done. Hate to lose the ranged guy. Bobby Snobby. Fuck me, he's one of the good ones too. Well, they were all good actually, they were all level 4. His base range was still bad though. He's nothing compared to an actual hunter or something, so it's not like he was late game material. Okay, this guy's shield walling. We could knock him out of that, but we don't have any teammates to help, so I think we just attack. Again, I don't want to try to break a kite shield. Just go for it and miss. So something I could do here is I could break out my pole mace and try to Hail Mary a stun out. But I think what's going to help this battle more for the other guys is to net, and then I'm going to fucking fail to do that because I don't have enough fatigue. Never mind. Bypass shield with that 3-headed flail. Hmm. $36, $27. Actually hit one. Went for the decap, didn't work. Getting very lucky on some of these. But not quite lucky enough, I don't think. Like, the fact that Rinder is still alive is crazy. The fact that Bobby Snobby's still alive is very surprising as well. Good. Yeah, help is not coming. I can't... I could break lines with NGMat and send him out there, but what is he really gonna do that will fix these situations quickly? The answer is nothing. I would have to send a dude with a shield out to start shoving these guys out of the way. Okay. Don't even have the fatigue to hail, so... Waldemar will probably, I guess, maybe live. NG-Mat may actually die. Whoops. Alright, there goes our blunderbuss guy. Super big shame, but they flanked me, you know, and at that point, my range guys are just dead. Yeah. Probably could have positioned better. Is he actually dead? Yeah, he's actually dead. Because, apparently we activated the secret no permanent injuries, mod, where you just die immediately no matter what. Tedious grinding in Dragon Quest? Well... this game wants you to grind tediously as well, apparently. Because we didn't have to take this fight. I should have just kept trading, I guess. Oh, shit. If we start losing this part of the battle, then this could actually still be lost. And fuck you, dude. Take that shield away. Okay, we don't have the fatigue to do anything with this guy. Bobby Snobby killed immediately as well. You know, Oren, I think you might be right that Indebted just cannot come back as with permanent injuries. I mean, it's not a big enough sample size for me to say that for sure, because it's only a 1 out of 3 chance, but man, we've lost a lot of slaves, and none of them have come back with permanent injuries. Okay. Well, our thief just died too. This may be a TPK, actually. I really wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to lose some guys, but the rolls have just gone against me. Well, that finally worked. Okay. Okay. Alright. How many ripostes did he get, actually, off the cascade? 3 misses, by the way. That's incredible. Chance 54, rolled 58, 84, 55, so at least he didn't get 3 ripostes. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get insane rolls to win at this point. Okay, so the mistake was taking an overworld fight pretty much ever until I have overpowered equipment. Honestly, with the amount of grinding that's basically required at this level of difficulty with economy and whatnot, I don't know, man. It's frustrating. I might turn the settings down on the next run. Hey, there we go. Yeah, but the thing is, if we had just, like, stood around and safely grinded for way longer, this wouldn't have happened, you know? I'm gonna maybe pass turn and get my fatigue back, because if I walk forward, I'm not even gonna be able to attack. I could swing on him, but he's already fleeing, so... Was I at full hit points and full armor there? I don't think he had been hit yet. Or had he? It's frustrating that it doesn't, if the kill happens in the combat log, it doesn't even show how much damage it actually does. It just says, oh, he's dead. That to me seems very strange. Like, I'd like to see how much damage was done. Good old 5% chance to hit. Play at a lower difficulty. Well, there's different forms of difficulty. There's the expert combat, which is, I guess, fine, but it's the low economy that's making it take forever. On the other hand, like, we had good money here. I just took a fight that shouldn't have been this hard and just was, you know. If we had grinded money for another 40 in-game days, everybody would have had enough armor that that we wouldn't die to this, you know. Because like all of these deaths, you know, if our dudes had 200 armor each, would have been fine. They would have been able to survive several more hits. Or if I had grinded levels out on the easiest possible missions, which admittedly has more risk than just trading, you could get nimble on everybody and again actually survive some hits. But I don't know. I think the game just needs less damage. If I had to say what the problem was, or maybe like a lower tier of weapons, because I mean, I guess I know it's meant to be kind of like a medieval XCOM, but because getting a TPK is just so punishing. Maybe even make you lose the campaign if you don't get anybody out, and you lose all the equipment on your dudes. I don't know, man. It's there's something slightly off, basically. Definitely would have still died to BS. No, I mean, this fight would be trivial if I just had better equipment, or higher level bros. I mean, sure, you can get RNG down at any moment, but still just BS all over. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I might be on the same page as you, in terms of just the fact that eventually, on a long enough timeline, the RNG just sort of fucks you over. Expert battle gives better loot faster. You play with everything else set to easy mode. Well, if we had econ set to easy, man, we'd have so much money right now that we would have actually been... Our power level, our power curve would have been in a legitimate place, you know? But I mean, as it stands, it's just... our power curve is nowhere near where it needs to be to actually do well in fights like this. You have to understand, this isn't one attack. This is 3 attacks that are rolling and missing. The RNG is just like ass-fucking me repeatedly. Hey, they're running away, I guess. Amazing. No, they're not running away, never mind. I guess they were trying to flank. Or maybe they were running away until that guy died. Oh hey, wow, look, I can hit some attacks. But yeah, I mean, the other thing is, like, the only time it stops feeling like the game is just sort of screwing you on RNG is when you have so much melee attack that all your attacks are, like, above 80% chance to hit. And even then, it kind of feels like you're getting screwed sometimes. But it's like, this feels like you're missing almost every attack. I mean, how many times have we cascaded in this battle and missed all 3, you know, at like 15? I mean, that was actually above, look at that, above 50% chance to hit, and you just missed 3 in a row. It's wild. Like, the game desperately needs a PRNG that doesn't work against the player. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever stream on Expert Economy again, because I've decided the only way to safely take fights like this is to grind. You just have to have grinded up enough dudes, either through levels or through gear, that you don't just get GG'd by bad luck. Because, like, if all of our dudes, let's say all of our dudes had 200, 200 head armor, 200 body armor, at that point, what you're looking at is, like, 2, maybe 3 times as long of time for each of my dudes to survive, you know? Attacks were 0%, 50%, 75%, or 100% in XCOM. What are you saying? I don't remember that. A more genius lenient RNG along with other stuff being tuned harder is the way to go. Well, I mean, this whole game, I have to say, like, with all the campaigns that I've streamed, it really does start to feel like RNG bullshit. And it's not. I mean, it is, but it's also not, because you can, in theory, work around it, but just the grind, man, like, I don't know, there's gotta be a better way to design the game to where you're not grinding for a million years, because you can truly Iron Man this game, I assure you, I believe it. No save scumming, whatever. I really do believe you can Iron Man it, but, I mean, you saw how much money we were making, right? I didn't have to take that fight. Could have walked away from it. Had like a lone wolf or something, even. Just like have one guy and go trading with your one guy and just make a bank of like 100,000 gold. Because there's nothing in the game stopping you from doing that, you know? Or just like have 2 guys, right? One in reserve, one in the front. So if you lose a battle, you just run away. And so there's actually nothing in the game that stops you from playing that way. It would make for a dogshit boring stream, I imagine. I don't know if anybody would want to watch that, but that would be the actual way to safely play the game. Because at that point, when you actually do want to start taking fights, you've got this backlog of 1 billion gold. You can have like famed items on all your dudes. We saw that sometimes like 5, 6 apparently famed items will spawn in the same armory, so it's not like there's a dearth of them. It's not like you have to fight for them. So I mean, I guess I probably sound annoyed because I guess it pisses me off that, like, that's the solution, you know? I think a lot about game design, and I have to wonder, like, I guess I would say that my opinion is that if the optimal answer in your game is do this grindy thing for so many, you know, X hours, maybe that's not so good. I actually talked to some of the people in the Discord about the scaling, how the game scales enemies against you. Not that applies to this fight, because this was an overworld fight. But apparently Renown doesn't actually play into it. So it's like the level of your guys, or the level of your best 12 guys, so highest level, I believe. I don't think your gear comes into it, so it's level, I think it's days past, and it's something else. But like, basically, that you can sit around apparently for a really long number of days, and if none of the other factors are high, you'll still be fighting low-level things in the contracts. So you could, in theory, spend like 300 days trading, and just do that. So at that point, it's like if the only barrier to the player getting the better gear is time investment, if there's no real risk-reward type shit going on. Oh yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could, this didn't have to happen. Even if I had gotten ambushed or whatever by stuff I couldn't, that materialized out of my head or whatever, you know, it had dogs that brushed my dudes down and killed them. You could survive forever in any campaign just by doing the trick where you have one dude outside of your reserve and everybody else in the reserve. Oh, you're saying you shouldn't be able to survive forever in any of these types of games? Well, but you can. You can in Battle Brothers. It just requires, in my mind, as far as I can tell so far, it requires some incredibly tedious play, an incredibly grindy type play. So I don't know. The jury is out, I guess, but I do think that's kind of a big design flaw, because the game, obviously encourages you to try to survive by any means necessary, right? So once you get to a certain level of skill, I have to wonder if, it's like if you're playing for what I call win rate, like winning as many games as possible, if the optimal thing to do is to grind out 300 days worth of gold and then go do stuff and then play the actual game, there are people who are going to do that, and I think that's less of an interesting experience than if the player A couldn't do that and B, the game was not balanced so much around and so much in favor of the player doing that, and you could add like a stricter clock to the game, like make stuff happen as days go on. I don't know how you would implement it or what the best thing to do would be, but in combination with that, you would have to, I don't know, you'd have to make the game less RNG. You have seen folks win with EELs frequently win the crisis without trading. Maybe I'll have to watch some content and see what I'm missing then. The RNG is there, especially on less than day 20. I mean, it's definitely true that I'm not doing the fights as well as I possibly could be. I mean, there's no question that I could be doing the tactical layer better, but when I'm swinging with like above 60% accuracy with something that attacks 3 times and missing all 3 like 2-3 times in a row, it's kind of frustrating. I'll say switch games at this point. Fair enough, yeah. Well, I was exploring this because it's like it's a gem, honestly. Like, it's a really interesting concept for a game, and there's a lot of depth to it, which kind of keeps me coming back. But I never felt quite this bad RNG-wise on XCOM for me. Like, I could sit down and play XCOM, and as long as you're not literally playing, and I'm talking about both the ancient DOS version of the game and the new one, and XCOM 2, the new one, none of those games to me felt as RNG as this. Sure, there was RNG involved, but the thing about XCOM is that if one of your dudes died, okay, you didn't really give a shit. Not really, especially in the early game, because one recruit was just as good as another. You throw a plasma rifle in the hands of a level 1, I don't know, I don't remember if there were levels in that game. I guess it was more like, what do you call it, the different stats that went up as you did stuff in the game, and then there was also rank. But the point is, like, if you lost a rookie or whatever, or if you lost even some dudes that were a little bit leveled up, you throw a plasma rifle in their hands and they're pretty much almost as good. And that's half true in this game, because yeah, you can throw like a greatsword in the hands of a level 1 guy, but he's probably never going to hit, or rarely hit. And more importantly, with the perk system, and this is where it really, I think, is where the rubber hits the road, so to speak. The perk system makes it so there are hugely powerful things, right, that higher level guys can do, which is something that the original XCOM didn't have. So you've got something like Nimble, which makes it possible to sort of do really powerful things and survive way longer in combat than a level 1 guy would do. So it kind of encourages you to grind that guy out, and then losing him is like a huge sort of setback. Whereas in XCOM, again, it's just throw a rifle on him and go. That's less true in the modern non-DOS XCOM, because they have something like a perk system as well. Have you heard of X-Pirates mode? I have, and I would like to stream that at some point. I've heard it's amazing. I've read a lot of really good stuff about it. There are a lot of titties in it, from what I understand, so I don't know if I can stream that on Twitch without getting banned. Although I've heard people have streamed it on Twitch, so I kind of have to shrug my shoulders and wonder at what the actual rules are on Twitch, because there's definitely nudity in that game, and a lot of it. I don't care. I don't mind. I would totally stream it, but seems like you can fly under the radar. I mean, that's the I could go on a whole rant about that. That's the whole question, is like, am I breaking the Twitch terms of service, and are they going to enforce it in this case? Because they're never consistent, So I mean, I could. We'll see, but it's definitely something I wanna stream at some point, just because some people in my Discord actually were playing it a while back and posting screenshots from it and stuff, and it seemed really really cool. Probably edit swap some of the saucier graphic. I don't know, man. My fellow Polacks made that game, and they put tits into like every single background screen in the game. It would be a lot of editing. It would be like almost every single research, from what I recall, had some naked or near naked ladies in it. So I would have done the same thing, I have to say, but makes it kind of questionable for Twitch Twitch streaming. You were supposed to lead the Pink Wojak squad to golden glory, but you were bogged. The Bogdanovs called in and they said, dump it. What use is it now that you lie dead? So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to stream any more Battle Brothers. Just because now I'm pretty well convinced that the optimal thing to do, I mean, is to grind a ton. I do hear you, by the way, Senjao. Like, I hear you that you've seen people win EELs, which is expert low, frequently win the crisis. Sure, I mean, technically winning the crisis just sort of involves walking around for 100 days and getting enough renown to trigger the crisis. So, although I'm sure that the stuff you're describing they actually played. I'm not saying it's not possible, and you can certainly play better than I've been playing. But the optimal strategy is still there, and so it's kind of I don't know, for me, and I don't know if this is just like personal to me or if this is a common thing, but for me, if I see that an optimal strategy is there, I'm gonna want to do it, even if it's the grindy thing. So it's like it's kind of like there's this other game I play called Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, and you know, there are things that you can do in that game, although not very many of them, but there are things you can do in that game that are extremely grindy, which pump up your win rate, you know, a good bit. And so I play that, or I used to play that anyway, to win as much as possible. And I would take advantage of those things, you know, so that I could get a streak of wins. And so, like, most people find the game to be like a very low win rate kind of experience, where you don't win very many of the games that you start, but it is possible to win almost all of the games that you start, if you do certain grindy things in some cases. Certain this game would be amazing once mods get things uncucked, RNG and quality of life wise. Well, you know, it's kind of the same way with what was that game I tried out? Westnoth. Sure, you guys have probably heard of Westnoth. It's an open source game, and it's RNG. You know, the epitome of RNG. I mean, there's strategy involved, but at the end of the day, there's a shitload of RNG in it. And to me, it made me never want to get really deep into the game, because it was just the dice were, there was no PRNG, not by default anyway. You play online, and you know, yeah, better strategy will win. But if both people have the same level of skill, it just sort of, or similar levels of skill even, it basically just comes down to RNG. And that kind of thing it's very frustrating for me. And the reason I bring that up is, like, I wonder if you could make a mod for this game, where there is simply, you know, like something like a turbo version of fast adaptation for all characters, enemies and allies. You know, the problem is that when you take, and this is like the quintessential problem of game design in the mechanics, for me, in a lot of, you know, a lot of my thoughts about this is like, you either have RNG or you don't, and usually you have some amount of RNG, right? And the less RNG you have, the easier it is for the player to sort of solve the game. And unfortunately, or rather for better or for worse, the human mind really likes gambling. You know, any kind of chance, risk versus reward. That may be part of why this style of game is so addicting. You know, because it's like, oh, am I gonna hit? Am I gonna get hit? And you get that sort of dopamine rush every single time. You know, and so a certain amount of that is kind of unavoidable if you want people to have fun with your game. Gambling is awesome, I guess. I've gambled. I've lost and won money gambling. Lots of it actually in both directions. So I can understand the appeal. But the thing is that like you have to strike a good balance there. And I think maybe this runs a little bit or maybe a lot too far in the RNG direction. At least for me. Obviously, your mileage may vary. Definitely has like a different strokes for different folks kind of thing going on there, where it's like you may like more of it. Something I like about that game DCSS, Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, is that while there is a shitload of variability in like whether you're going to hit somebody or not, whether they're going to hit you, how much damage you're going to do, just a ton of variability everywhere. The challenge of the game is that there's actually a number of ways that you can, I call it resetting fights, where you're fighting the monster and you don't just have to sit there and get your ass kicked. You can actually walk away from it. And if you have certain abilities or if you know how to do certain things, you can somewhat consistently get away from at least a single monster, maybe not several, but at least a single one. And then you reset the fight and you come back and you do it again once your guy's healed and whatnot. And then you can sort of abuse the RNG that way to where eventually the RNG goes in your favor. And obviously it's not quite as simple as I'm making it out to be. I mean, there's situations that complicate that. And I think that the thing that sort of gets me about this is when you're in a fight in Battle Brothers, I don't think there's really any way to consistently guaranteed say, okay, the RNG is just straight up fucking me in this battle, I'm gonna bail. And I read that in the original version of this game, there actually was a way to sort of give the game the middle finger and bail on a fight if it was giving you the middle finger, which is that if you press the retreat button, and by the way, this didn't really make a lot of sense, but it was in the game, you press the retreat button, what actually happened was you just zoop, instantly teleported out of the fight, all your dudes, and then all of your dudes got an injury. Really, really powerful, probably too powerful, probably not enough interactivity in that mechanic for it to be interesting. However, I kind of would like to play the game with that in mind, or with that implementation, just to kind of see what it would be like, because that would be a way to say, I'm not going to do this fight anymore. This is obviously going against me. And of course there was a downside to it, whether that was like a good enough downside, I don't know. And it didn't make a lot of sense because obviously like you're just sort of teleporting your guys out of combat. But yeah, I don't know. That would have been a way to sort of counteract, give the players some levers, In my mind, I think that's the path, is you give the players some levers to fix when bad RNG happens, because eventually they're going to have a series of bad beats. This is just the law of large numbers. Eventually they're going to have a series of bad beats, and I don't know if it's going to ruin their experience, but I don't know how fun it's going to be to miss 10 hits in a row and then like get hit every single time, for me, it's frustrating. But when the game throws levers at you, like some kind of consumable type items, some things that are expensive maybe and rare, that you can choose, the player can choose when to use them to bail out. I mean, imagine if this game had like, I don't know, like an item that costs 1,000 gold and you could only find somewhat rarely, but it's like a smoke bomb. And it makes it so you can just like leave a fight instantly, like the way you used to. That kind of thing might be interesting, because then the player has to make the informed decision of, well, when am I going to use this rare item that I might not get again anytime soon? Should I use it now and save my guys, or should I stick this fight out? Now you're giving the player like a choice to make, something that they have to think about, and you're giving them a way to, not get fucked over by terrible RNG if it's going badly. They did actually add smoke bombs in the DLC, but it doesn't quite do the same thing as what I'm describing. I may have to like play around with some stuff like that and see if there's a way to consistently disengage from fights. But it seems like basically once the fight is going, once you're in melee, the nature of attacks of opportunity and whatnot, it seems like once you've chosen to take the fight, I don't know of any way you can, extricate yourself from that consistently. The retreat button seems to really only exist for before the fight has started, you know, before your dudes have entered into the melee. Otherwise, you're sort of looking at the situation where like a couple of your guys survive and everybody else dies and you lose a bunch of loot. So, some room for improvement, I think. It was an interesting run. I learned a few things about the requirements for the amount of gear that you need to have before fighting certain enemies. I kind of want to review that raider fight because I'm sure there was like a whole slew of tactical errors I made, which would have not necessarily made me win, but would have made things go better. I will say that probably my biggest mistake that run was trying to polish those terrible ass slaves into being ranged guys despite their bad melee or bad ranged attack. If I had been leveling their melee attack instead, each of those dudes would have had like, I don't know, 60 or maybe even 70 melee attack by that point. Probably more like 60-ish, a little more than 60. Because a lot of them had like 50 base, and I was raising the ranged from terrible levels like 35 or 40. If they had had higher melee attack and each of them had had like a pole arm or something, that would have worked. Or if I had hired hunters or something instead to actually be my ranged backline and had a decent ranged attack, that may have gone better. So that's probably, if I had to guess, you know, as far as combat mistakes or even strategic level mistakes, that was probably the thing that got me. That and just choosing to take that fight with that team, such as it was. So much of this game is just judging what your team can do, even in the case of bad RNG, and that was something that was definitely a mistake on my part. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. That's going to be it for the night. That was the Pink Wojak squad, the traders. Didn't end very well for them. What's this, Oren? For the item, might be able to model it as a forced daze on everyone, and an AP reduction effect to keep them from running after you. I'd probably say like a forced stun, because that takes away the zone of control. I'm not a fan of this this paradigm where it's like you give the dude a debuff and there is a chance that you can get away. I like the idea of expensive, rare consumables that totally stop the whole RNG thing, because that's not actually totally against the design philosophy of Battle Brothers, because there are things in the game that are guaranteed to hit. There's nets, there's apparently fire potions, I think those are guaranteed. There's the holy water, although there's only a chance of that hitting the stuff around the thing you target, the thing you hit, you know, the main thing you target, 100% chance to hit. There's probably a few other things I'm not thinking of. So like there is stuff that just bypasses the RNG. Having a few more of those things, you know, not stuff that you can use to win every single battle. Obviously you want it to be stuff that costs money if you're going to have an RNG laden game. And it's going to be stuff that's kind of hard to get a lot of instances of. But just like something to fix the problem. And technically the smoke bomb does take away zone of control. It sort of does what I want, but it's only I think only in a small area, and obviously you have to spend an action using it, so kind of hard to. Yeah, no, there's a flashbang. I think it's even called like a flash pot, but it's very small scale. It doesn't just hit their whole team. It hits like one dude. Or one group of dudes. I'd have to check to see what the actual AoE is, but I can't imagine it's very big. If you could do that and not have to spend AP doing it, you know, that would be pretty great, and would actually allow you to bail from a fight. Although you would still have problems getting arrows raining on you as you're retreating. It would be sort of better than the current thing where it's like if the fight's turning against you, you just sort of have to watch as you lose half your team, you know. But maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something I'm missing. I have to look into it. I may watch some of the higher level play and see exactly what things I'm screwing up and where, because again, I'm sure there's plenty of it. Anyway, yeah, that'll be it for the night. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Until next time, I am signing out. Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.